This is kind of a two-for-one video as we continue to roll along through the Anchor Bay DVD releases of yesteryear. I picked up the first one I'm going to show you here way back in I think early 2004 when Walmart actually had it. And at the time I wasn't really aware of the limited edition set that would come later, or maybe it was at the same time, but you know, Anchor Bay released Dawn of the Dead, the DiviMax version, which, check this out, DiviMax. This DVD has been mastered with DiviMax, a high-definition film transfer process that provides state-of-the-art picture quality and can be viewed on any home entertainment system. So if you didn't have Blu-ray, which Blu-ray was probably still pretty new then, I don't know, maybe it was, VHS was still out at the time, but this was pretty state-of-the-art stuff for those folks with a 16:9 television. And I remember seeing this at Walmart, and this was like when I first started my big DVD collection. This was pretty well the first thing I ever bought in 2004 at Walmart, and it was like, I think, $12 back then. And this is just the basic cut, I do believe. This isn't the director's cut, nor is it, you know, the Italian cut. And I wasn't aware at the time, but I believe they actually released all three versions on solo releases at one time, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the one I ended up with. Of course, there's 5 million versions of this. But the one that I really wanted was the one I'm about to show you here now. As I set this out of the way. When I was blogging, but I think the first year, maybe the second year I had the site running, another website had a contest to win these, which these are at the time was pretty well sought after still. And it's the Ultimate Edition, Dawn of the Dead, 4-disc with the comic book. Every cut there is of it, the director's cut, the regular version, and the Argento cut, all in one box. Which you had to do was, I can't remember, it was some kind of contest, and they gave away 2 copies, and I got one of them, and I was thrilled. Of course, little did I know how cheap the set was actually going to become later on, because Amazon was selling them for $5 a piece as I try to roll this bad boy out here. And that's kind of a look at that. As you can see, that's the extended version, the European version, and that's actually 4 different documentaries on it, the supplements, but here is the U.S. theatrical cut. And of course, then there's the comic book, and the slips, and all that little stuff you get in there. Which, you know, even Blu-ray sets don't seem to go out of their way this much now. Some people probably are happy to see the fold-outs go, I guess. Although I like them, although they are aggravating. I think the last newish fold-out set I actually ever got was the, I'm drawing a blank, the Omen Blu-ray set, actually. But, you know, this is mine. Probably, next to Return of the Living Dead, my favorite zombie movie ever made. This would be one reason the website was titled Zombies Don't Run, because of George Romero and Dawn of the Dead. Although it's a little contradicting when you think my other film that's neck to neck with it features a whole bunch of running zombies in Return of the Living Dead. But now this set I always thought was just amazing. And I don't know if it's really the essential version. I guess maybe it is as far as you go with standard definition. Although the Arrow ones are really expensive and supposed to have a whole lot of content that I don't have. I actually really wish I had the Arrow ones, but I don't. The Arrow one, I should say. I want the one with the slipcase, not any other re-release. But like I said, this is kind of it until they come out with something else, which you always hear they're coming out with something else. You know, even the Blu-ray of Anchor Bay is now out of print, which I have that, thankfully. But I keep hearing they're going to 3D it or something like that. I don't know, and it's coming sooner or later, but haven't really heard nothing on it yet. So until then, this or the Arrow would be the version to have, and I plan to hold on to it, even if they do come out with a better one. Even if they come out with like an Anchor Bay, if they still own the rights, which I hear they may still have. If they even come out with a box set basically like this, only Blu-ray, I still plan to keep this because maybe it's nostalgic or whatever, I don't know, but I don't know. It may be more valuable now than it was. There for a while it was like $5 on Amazon, and I know a lot of people were like loading up on them, but I bet that was probably before the set was going out of print, so I'm sure it's probably a little bit more than that now. At least I would think so. I didn't check before, but that's the Ultimate Edition of Dawn of the Dead. One of the cooler sets that Anchor Bay has still ever put out, and it really just makes you nostalgic for those golden years of Anchor Bay. So I don't know if you like this one, you can comment below, I guess. But if you know what the Arrow version actually has that this one don't or anything, feel free to share that as well, because I'm eventually going to get that one. I know it's going to probably cost an arm and a leg and a couple toes, but I would like to have the Arrow Blu-ray version. But until then, I'm satisfied with this.